quite amazing that we wake up every day and we go to the bathroom, we take a shower, we brush our teeth, we eat food. We're these evolved apes walking around, talking, building things, creating, debating, arguing, hurting each other, killing, pillaging, controlling. It's all pretty fascinating, to be honest, if you think about it. Today I want to talk about that journey as a human adult male and how I'm 36 now. And I would say probably the past 2 months of my life will probably lay the groundwork for the next 40 or 50. And it came at the tail end of some struggle in my business, my company, my life, whatever. That seems to be the way it goes. I was thinking about how amazing it is that even at 36, I'm still uncovering more about myself and who I want to be, how I want to live. A lot of people, I feel like, just default to like, you get in your 30s, you have a job, you have a certain amount of hobbies and friends and things you do on the weekend, a certain amount of money you make. And then you just do that until you start getting a little bit overweight every year, a little bit older, a little bit more achy, a little bit less motivated, a little bit less energy. And then eventually the slow, long demise of aging. And that's sad. I think it's sad. I don't want to go that way at all. I think actually that I'm going to probably see that my 40s are going to be some of the best years of my life. And it's actually interesting because I've heard people talk about this. And I wonder like how much of that is necessary. Do you literally need 30 years or 40 years to figure out who you are? I mean, you could say the first 20 are just figuring out the basics of biology and how to use your body and what ways are acceptable and not acceptable to use that body, how to kind of control urges and what habits you're going to build and whatever. And then your 20s are definitely some soul searching, what ideas do you want to adopt? What worldviews are you going to live your life based on, right? And then 30s, you become more mature. Maybe you become a little less idealistic as your 20s, because 20s are kind of like, oh, new idea. It's amazing. I cling to this thing and this is how I want to live. And this is my identity. And 30s, you kind of detach a little bit from needing an identity at all. You just don't care as much, right? You like have found the people and the routines and things. You're pretty solid in who you are and you don't really feel the need to tell everybody about it, right? And I think 40s are probably going to be just living whatever that average is that you've set for yourself. And if you're growth minded, it's probably still growing. It's probably still growth. It's probably still building things and doing things. It definitely is going to be for me. It is a fascinating question. Everybody's different here. Everybody's on different timelines. I feel like I've had it figured out for quite a while. And I've definitely had some things figured out. And I've had some, habits, routines and money and things like that. And we have family now. And so there's definitely values that are pretty consistent thus far and that will remain that way. But I still feel like I'm learning new stuff every single day and uncovering more. And so the question is like, if I've done that thus far for so many years, I've been on this self-development pursuit, this awareness, this kind of removal of the status quo for my life as much as possible. What still is there? Like, what is the next thing? There's got to be more things. I have some pretty good ideas about that, but I'm probably wrong, or at least only partially right. And it is fascinating. So I was writing this on the website and I recommend checking out thebetterhuman.co. Scroll down to where the Better Human Company part is. I got a few articles that I put on there, a few pages on the website that I finished yesterday that are refining the Better Human Company mission. They're very much aligned with like my philosophy and things that I'm discovering now. And these ideas are going to be the foundation for what I'm building next. And I just got off a call with, potential partner. It's going to be massive. It's going to be amazing. We're basically going to build a decentralized, completely eco-living, off-grid community outside of Austin, Texas, probably 2 to 3 hours max. I don't want to spill more about it. I don't want to talk more about it because literally this is like in the past few days, a lot of things have kind of come together. A lot of synchronicities have come together and a lot of realizations and epiphanies have come together. And for the past month, like I said, I've been having like realization, epiphany, and distillation of information over and over and over and over again, which is why it's so exciting because where is that going to lead? The lesson here, if none of this is appealing to you in any way, or it sounds a little esoteric or like, how does this benefit me? It's action though. It's action, action, action. When you do, you learn. Action is everything. And I've talked about this a lot. I've talked about how knowledge is overrated. Action with knowledge and learning from the action you take of that knowledge you use to take action leads to more action and learning. And it's a self-perpetuating loop. It's the success loop. Action, learning, action, learning, action, learning, and then you evolve. Every single thing that I'm coming to in the past couple of months, that's going to be the next big thing that I do, has been the result of taking action. For 2 years, I've been meandering around, not sure what I want to do. So I read books, I write articles, I do podcasts and videos, and each one I'm doing like a little bit here, a little bit there. I don't really have a ton of motivation for any of them because there's not really an end goal or a master plan. And then I go from, the Ancestral Mind podcast to the Better Human podcast. And that feels right. And it feels like it opens me up a little bit. And then I take it a little bit more seriously. And then I go to a daily show. And then I take on my first advertisers. And then the Better Human Company comes about just one day as I'm going through my morning writing, reading, thinking routine. And then I think about what does that mean? What am I trying to accomplish here? What's the bigger mission? Is it just going to be another e-commerce company? Or is it going to be e-commerce plus this new 50-50 model where it's for good, for profit? Or is it going to be some other hybrid or something else like that? And then I eventually stumble upon microloans like Kiva. And we're going to start with small farmers. And then practitioners that want to participate in a separate out of the system economic reality that we're going to basically build. And a lot of people are already doing it. They call it gray and black markets, right? But we're going to help facilitate that and bring people together and give loans to practitioners that want to build a business or a livelihood around that. That has me very excited. And food is definitely central because food is still something we all need. And if you look at the attack on meat that's been going on recently, they're going to start coming after it more. They're going to start coming after everything that isn't their mass-produced slop. And they're going to convince themselves, or they already have, and they're going to try to convince you and the public that it's for the environment. It's for sustainability and a bunch of other BS green washing nonsense words that actually don't mean anything and that are actually the opposite of the truth. Because as we know, regenerative ag, that includes animals, is the sustainable way to feed humanity, not mass monocropping. All of this has been the result of action. Take action. I write, I read, I learn, I record, I do these things. And I'm just continually pursuing a connection, an idea, the next thing, how to distill this information into more action, right? I have all these ideas. I have all of these books I've read and all these things floating around in my consciousness and my subconscious and all these things I want to do. And the more I chip away at it, the more I whittle away about what's the core thing, what are the core principles, what really matters, what do I need to focus on, what's worth the effort, and what can I ignore or put on hold, the closer I get. It's like Michelangelo said, I removed everything that wasn't David. When somebody asked him how he did the statue of David, he just removed the parts that wasn't David, that isn't David, or wasn't David, weren't David. He removed the parts that weren't David. And therefore, you then had the statue of David. That process, though, that whittling away, that removing of the things that aren't the thing that you should do or want to do or that truly fire you up, is just like Michelangelo chiseling away and not stopping until what's left is a statue of David. So I wanted to just share that short show. And remember, we're a daily show. So make sure you subscribe on your podcast app and you can get us on YouTube. And the Better Human newsletter is the hub, thebetterhuman.co, to join 18,000 other humans. And let's thank our sponsor today. We got Organifi, organic superfood blends that offer plant-based nutrition made from high-quality ingredients. Each Organifi blend is science-backed to craft the most effective doses with ingredients that are organic and free of fillers and contain less than 3 grams of sugar per serving. If you're into green juice, they got an Organifi green juice. If you're into gut health, they got a bunch for that. I'm taking I believe it's called Restore. I'm taking that daily in my water. I got some of my water bottle right over here. What's cool about this brand is they definitely have that dedication to quality. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be hearing about them from my lips. They also have in a ready-to-drink form. So you just add some water, maybe you do tea, maybe you do add it to a smoothie, do your own thing, and you have something that's easy to mix up, and then you drink it, and it's tasty, and there you go. Super simple, super easy, and quality nutrition. Organifi.com, ORGANIFI.com/betterhuman, and then use that same code, BetterHuman, for 20% off your entire order. Now, like I said, learn more about the Better Human revolution over at thebetterhuman.co. You scroll down and there's a page. It's got some recent pages that influenced today's show. So if you want to get an idea of what I'm thinking about and talking about, then you can go and read those. It will also give you a glimpse into what I believe is going to be the Better Human movement, revolution, better way of living. Again, I'm just so excited about it. It's going to be massive. It's going to be huge. You're going to be here early. You're going to see the entire start to finish, or I don't even want to say finish, because like our work's going to continue for well past my lifetime, but you're going to be here to follow along with the building, the growing, everything. And then you're going to see what we build. It's going to be amazing. And hopefully one day you'll come visit us, because we're going to have an amazing property out here, a off the grid eco-living community outside of Austin, Texas, that we will have people coming that can do short-term stays, but it will be a community that is going to be a members only and community-based. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fascinating. And I'm really excited about it. And if anybody's interested in that, shoot me a DM. I'll get you on the email list. We also have a circle community that we're going to start bringing people into, and we're starting to create a decentralized network so that other people that want to engage in not the broken system and that want to engage peer-to-peer, person-to-person, and they want to be a part of a small, growing, decentralized network of humans, send me a DM and I'll get the link. We're going to have a URL for that. We don't have it just yet, but we have a circle community that you can get into, and that's going to keep growing and growing and growing. That's it for today. Thank you for listening and watching, and I'll see you in the next one.